You don't have a money problem. You have a software problem. And the code was written before you were old enough to read. You've started budgets, downloaded the apps, set goals that actually made sense on paper. Maybe you've done everything the personal finance world told you to do, and the numbers still don't move the way they should. Same stress, same ceiling, same feeling that no matter how hard you push, something invisible pushes back. That's not a discipline failure. That's not an income problem. That is a financial operating system running in the background of every decision you've ever made about money, and it's been there since before you could tie your shoes. Here's what nobody in this space is willing to say clearly. Two people can have the exact same income, the exact same expenses, the exact same strategies, and land in completely different financial realities 5 years from now. Not because of what they did, because of the system running underneath everything they did. In the next 10 minutes, you're going to understand exactly what that system is, how to find where it's quietly draining you, and the specific shift that makes every financial habit you try actually stick. Stay until the end, because the last piece is the one most people skip, and skipping it is exactly why smart people stay broke. Here's why this can't wait until things stabilize. Every single day you operate without seeing your financial operating system, you aren't standing still. You're moving in the wrong direction slowly, invisibly, but steadily. You're making dozens of micro decisions daily that feel like conscious choices, but are really just the same code executing on autopilot. Habits don't build wealth on a broken foundation. They just give you something to do while the foundation keeps cracking. And somewhere inside you, you already feel that. That's why you're still here. In 2019, researchers published findings that quietly rattled the financial psychology world. They identified something called money scripts, core belief systems about money that predict adult financial behavior with shocking consistency. And the detail that changes everything? These scripts are formed almost entirely before age 7, before your first job, before you ever made a real financial decision on your own, before you had any say in the matter. The algorithm running your bank account today was written by a child watching the tension that appeared when bills were mentioned, a child absorbing what it meant when someone spent generously on people they wanted to impress or held money so tight it became fear, a child who didn't know they were writing code. But they wrote it, and you've been executing it ever since. Now let's get specific, because this is where it gets uncomfortable. There are 4 money scripts. Most people carry 2 or 3 simultaneously, without ever knowing which ones they're running. The first, money avoidance. People running this script believe on some level that money is corrupting, that wanting it makes you greedy, that wealthy people must have done something wrong to get there. So every time real financial momentum builds, something pulls it back. Self-sabotage, giving money away faster than it comes in, avoiding account balances because the anxiety is too loud. This isn't a character flaw. This is an old instruction set running exactly as designed. The second, money worship. This one says more money will fix the thing that's actually wrong. The quiet emptiness, the relationship tension, the anxiety that follows you everywhere, so you chase income like it's oxygen. And the moment a raise comes through, lifestyle inflation absorbs every dollar of it, not because you're undisciplined, but because the wound isn't financial. Your operating system just keeps insisting it is. The third, money status. Here, financial decisions are driven not by what you need, but by what signals worth to the people watching. The car, the wardrobe, the table at the restaurant. You're not spending money, you're spending identity. And identity spending has no logic and no ceiling because it was never trying to solve a financial problem in the first place. And the fourth, sit with this one, money vigilance. This looks like discipline, track everything, never indulge, save aggressively. But past a certain threshold, vigilance becomes paralysis. You never invest because you never feel safe enough. You hold cash that inflation is silently dismantling. You work hard, stay careful, and somehow still don't move. Because your system is optimized for survival, not for expansion. And there's a meaningful difference between those two things. Which one did you just recognize in yourself? Here's the reframe that unlocks everything. You've been trying to fix your financial outcomes by changing your actions. Better habits, stricter budgets, new systems, but actions live on the surface. And surface-level solutions on a deep-level problem produce temporary results or no results at all. This is why research consistently shows that people who receive sudden windfalls, inheritance, legal settlements, unexpected income return to their previous financial position within 3 to 5 years on average. The money changed, the operating system didn't, and the OS always wins. The personal finance industry doesn't say this out loud because it makes simple 5-step solutions sound insufficient. But the actual answer is more actionable than it sounds, because operating systems can be updated, code can be rewritten, but only by someone who can first see what they're running. So how do you find your financial OS? Not by reading another book, not by finding a better investment strategy. You find it by answering one question honestly. What did money feel like in the house you grew up in? Not what people said about money, what it felt like. Was it the invisible source of all tension? The thing everyone pretended didn't matter while being consumed by it after you went to bed? Was it love made visible, spent generously on people worth impressing? Was it something you never talked about because there was never enough to discuss? Whatever money felt like in that environment, that emotional experience became your definition of financial normalcy. And your brain will spend your entire adult life recreating what feels normal, even when what's normal is keeping you exactly where you've always been. This is the part where most people stop. Not from watching, from doing the actual work, because it's more comfortable to download a new budgeting app than to look honestly at a belief system you've been living inside for 20+ years. It's easier to blame the economy, the interest rates, the money habits of everyone around you than to sit with the possibility that the issue has been running in your own code the entire time. The people who never move forward financially don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they never looked. You can't rewrite what you refuse to read. Here's what the research also found, and this is where everything actually shifts. The people who successfully rewire their money scripts don't do it through sheer discipline. They do it through two things: environment and language. Environment first. They place themselves, physically or digitally, in spaces where a different relationship with money is the baseline. Not to copy wealthy people's spending. That's the money status trap in disguise, but to absorb what it feels like to operate from expansion instead of fear. When financially intentional behavior is just what the people around you do, it stops feeling like extraordinary effort. It starts feeling like the standard. Language second. The words you use about money are not neutral descriptions. Every time you say, "I'm bad with money," your brain receives that as a system instruction. It begins filtering your reality to confirm it. Neuroscience calls this the self-referencing effect. The brain prioritizes information that matches its current self-concept, which means your words aren't describing your financial reality, they're constructing it. The people who shift their financial trajectory change their language before the numbers change, not affirmations, identity updates. I'm building the habits that create wealth. I'm learning how money actually works. I'm someone who takes my financial future seriously. These aren't feel-good phrases. These are syntax changes that produce behavioral shifts over time because your brain treats identity statements as operating instructions. So here is the only question that matters right now, not next week, not when things are more stable, right now. What financial operating system have you been running? And did you choose it, or was it installed before you knew you had a choice? Because here's what's true for every single person watching this. You are not your money script, you are the person who can now read it. And reading it, becoming conscious of the code you've been executing, is the first real move that everyone who actually turns their financial life around has in common. Not the investment vehicle, not the income stream, the moment they looked at the system underneath and made a decision to update it. That moment is available to you right now, not after you earn more, not after you fix everything else first. Now, the only thing a broken financial OS needs to start changing is a person willing to look at it, and you just did. The tactics are everywhere. Budgets, investment accounts, wealth-building strategies, you can find all of it in seconds. What's harder to find is someone willing to tell you that none of it builds traction until the foundation is solid. You now understand something most people will go their entire lives without seeing. What you do with it, that's the only decision left. If something in this video hit you, if you recognized one of those scripts in yourself, tell me in the comments which one. That conversation matters more than a like, though if this was worth your time, both mean a lot. And if you're ready to go deeper, stay on this channel. The next video starts exactly where this one ends.